siento que Lao tiene un equipo bastante sólido en el tema estratégico. Siento que tienen como a un capitán IGL que es saadhak, que resalta mucho por su forma de cómo plantea el juego.
In a 2v2 now, saadhak has his ult. saadhak's gonna have to do it on his own, the flash up. And Giuseppe on the other side, and saadhak clutches it out.
O jogo contra a KRÜ eu acho que vai ser um jogo muito difícil, principalmente porque agora eles estão com um jogador novo que é muito bom mecanicamente, que é o Hit.
Positioning here, still he will pick it up without really too much of a challenge here because the players are low. Jorgamo starting to the open, the trades are not online.
Agora o nosso próximo confronto vai ser difícil, eles são um time que está muito bem no campeonato, então realmente a gente vai ter que se preparar muito bem para enfrentar eles porque não é um time bobo.
De que KRÜ quedó 0-9 el año pasado y queremos demostrar que no va a ser así obviamente este año. Queremos darle una alegría a la gente de LATAM y siento que se la estamos dando y falta mucho por entregarle.
Welcome back to VCT Americas. We're finally here, the final match of Super Week.
Look at this guy.
And my guy's he's doing the jumping jacks. He's doing the jump or whatever. Look at me. Do I look like I work out?
And the bottle flip?
Oh my God.
Hold up.
KRÜ's winning it all.
There is no... This is the proof that this team is undefeated.
Hold up. We got to come to the camera real fast. When we get to the studio, we're going to have to engage.
We're not coming to us because they're still going. Oh. Okay, didn't have to show that.
All right, you're a pro player.
Oh my gosh.
Myrna,
oh my God.
Bottle flip. Do it.
Team building exercise.
Team building exercise.
Oh, that was looking good.
So
Yo, I blame the texture of the desk.
No, he plays in Pacific.
Oh, God.
Oh, that was a good one.
Honestly, this desk most...
Don't worry, GB, he's done.
Guys, I'm fired. Everyone can rejoice.
Most relatable analyst desk of 2016.
Okay. That was good. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about some big news, breaking news, because Leviathan have clinched their spot in the playoffs with that victory. And if you're a Lev fan, you're excited about this. If you're the Lev guys, the team who didn't think they'd be in this position at the start of the year with the way things were going.
Yeah, I mean, after that match against C9, a lot of people were big doomers about this team, but they bounced back so strong. It's a fantastic win for them to secure.
Yeah, I mean, their last 3 games in a row have all been super impressive wins. I think against NRG and Sen in particular had people believing in this roster, and they close out strong against G2.
Sentinels fans also eating good.
Yes.
Yes, now that G2 are still tied with them down at the bottom of that alpha group.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, let's go ahead, though, and shift our focus here to our match at hand. Loud, of course, the defending America's champions. Now, they just finished 4th in Madrid, and here they are in a very precarious position, Athena. They find themselves at the bottom of the standings, which when you think of Loud, you think instantly of success, and yet that's not the case this stage.
Yeah, it genuinely makes no sense, but it does make sense when you do watch the way that they're playing. So unlucky. It feels like a lot of their strats, a lot of the way they normally play, they're just so out of form. And I don't know, I feel like they've had a game plan, but it's just not working out for them.
Yeah, it felt like a lot of, they had a good initial game plan. I actually liked some of the new comps they were bringing out, but when it got sloppy, when it got into like the weird late rounds against Cloud9, the pinnacle of like winning in sloppy, scrappy moments, Oxy running into their spawn, things like that, they really struggled to deal with those kind of off-timing plays, and then that started to snowball for Cloud9 into winning that series.
And that's something that you'd expect Loud to be so good at, especially dealing with, a very aggressive duelist. This is a core that's been together for so long, played at the highest levels every single time, never missing an international. Like, this is a team that should not be getting run over by those sorts of things.
And it's funny because Loud has always been a team who has regular season games like that. If we remember last season, every win was 2-1. Every win was coming down to these last little minutes. But the thing then was that Osboss and Les were constantly bailing them out of these situations, and we just haven't seen quite that same firepower, that same ability to salvage these crazy games from Quick and from this year's roster.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of questions as we get ready for this matchup. But thankfully, though, we got Elizabeth standing by to hear from Kawanzine to maybe get us some answers.
All right, Kawanzine, come on over. Hello. Just let your team go through really quickly. Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. All right, I have a question for you.
Okay.
You are now secondary calling. So what has that change been like now that you're fragging out?
Agora você é uma espécie de co-capitão, né? Como é que você se sente agora que isso está acontecendo?
Acho que eu me sinto muito bem, porque eu calo muito pra mim na frente junto com o QCK. Então eu pego umas killzinhas, baito ele, e pra mim tá sendo bom.
I think for me it's really good. I am right at the front with QCK, and I do the calls, get a little kills, so it's kind of cool.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
There we go.
All right, they got that fist bump. That's what's important. Okay, so well, let's actually talk about Kawanzin, stepping into that role a little bit here, because it has allowed Saadhak to get a little silly and have some fun. And
but that's inferring that Saadhak didn't get silly when anyone else was secondary.
He stays silly, but now he's sillier.
Deadlock is peak silly.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Pushing in front of your Deadlock wall is even
that's what's
more
crazy
of
to
a
me.
peak of
Because
silly.
I liked some of the ideas with the Deadlock. We were kind of trying to break it down, right? You have like these stones that make it really tough to clear towards C. But he was just fighting in front of his util every round. And I think he was put in a position where he felt like he had to be the playmaker, which was so strange.
I mean, I feel like when you pick Deadlock, I am so excited to see the plays that are surrounding it. But literally, it just felt like he just kind of felt like it. Like,
He just wanted to protect his utility. Come on, guys.
Space agent select.
No, he literally just started using Deadlock the way that he wanted to play. And I'm just like, I wanted to see a lot more. There's so many more things you can do. Absolutely shutting down choke points. But I didn't see any of that.
I think defensively, I didn't see that. I will say on attack and post plants, that's where Deadlock is at her strongest IMO. Like, that is so dominant, where you can lock down an entire choke with the
that
wall.
wall, when you're on that 40-second timer, is so huge.
It just eats bullets, eats time, and then you're also getting stunned as you run into sight, because you have to make noise to retake a site. Like, I do think that's where it looked pretty solid for me, when they were actually able to plant the site.
Sure, but I think the issues did come down to that defense, where they were really running out of time, running out of options, right?
I agree.
And they ended up constantly losing A on Lotus, so they felt like they had to make these forward plays there and pull the Deadlock away. That setup was never actually getting tested towards C and B.
I'm not a Deadlock sympathizer.
I was going to ask, do you think that we see a little bit of Deadlock today, potentially?
I mean, I would imagine if they get Lotus, they're playing it again, because it's their second match in Super Week. You don't have a lot of time to adjust and pivot.
Oh my God, I was not ready for that.
I did forget about that whenever you say the word.
I mean, when you do, maybe this time when they play Deadlock, it's going to be they're going to watch their VOD and realize, like, here are the mistakes that we did. Like, here's what happened. And so maybe picking it now, they'll be like, we actually know how to play around it for defense, and maybe just don't be too silly.
Yeah, maybe not to be too silly, but real quick, Super Week.
They just don't like you, Mimi.
They just don't like you, Mimi. I just wanted to make sure.
okay.
All right, well, let's go ahead, though, and look at their opponents on the other side of the stage. You got KRÜ. They're 3-0 in Stage 1. The top team in Alpha Group. Words that I'm saying out loud. I am so thrilled for these guys after the ringer that they have been put in to find themselves here today. But it is important to note, though, that their wins came against, I don't want to say weaker opponents, but just...
You could say that.
Yeah, I guess so.
MIDR, Furia, both winless thus far.
Yeah.
who got the crazy upset
nice
against
guy.
Sen, but was definitely not in that form against KRÜ. I think it can be questioned how real the run is, right? But still, the way in which they're winning the games, the dominance at which they're pulling it off, the level the players are hitting right now makes me think that even though the opponents haven't been a big challenge like they'll have today against Loud, they are, like, this is real. KRÜ is a
another
team.
undefeated or another winless team in Loud, right? But I agree with you in the sentiment of
it's a little different with Loud.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, like, I think that I want to not go all in on KRÜ just
You're
yet.
not
I think that's
just yet.
dangerous, but I do think it's perfectly fine to start getting more and more excited.
So you
about
think
this.
it's like a steady amount of crouping that you will do over time,
How
right?
hard
Scaling
are
the
you
crouping.
right now,
Yeah.
my
Are you on a
God.
scale of 1 to 10? How hard are you crouping?
I'm going to say I don't really want to say I'm doing that, but I'm like a solid 7.
So you're 7 on the croup scale.
No,
7 on the croup
no.
scale. Okay.
I just think that they look good, even if they're playing these kind of weaker teams, if that's even what we want to say. They still look good. I mean, they look confident. They're making the right plays. They're playing textbook. I think I'm 7.
I think the croupometer is looking like a 7. I think it's really reasonable, right?
Out of croup troll.
No, that doesn't even work even remotely close.
Can we go to the
Listen,
next segment?
I'm insane, so obviously it works for me.
Stop him. We have Elizabeth standing by with an interview. Let's check it out. I'm stealing this from him. Because I want...
All right, Shy. Hi, how are you? Wait a little bit, let your team. Hi, KRÜ. Hi, KRÜ Visa. Hello. Cruza, I like it. Okay, so my question for you is, can KRÜ sustain this level of improvement?
La pregunta que te tiene es si puede KRÜ mantener este nivel de crecimiento.
Sí, venimos preparándonos bien y siento que cada partido, cada semana hemos crecido bastante como equipo y como grupo. Y sí, siento que vamos a seguir creciendo a la medida que va pasando el torneo.
Yeah, I feel like every match that we have, we've been growing, and the improvement we've had has been great. So every match that we had, it's going to help us grow even more.
All right, well, best of luck.
Got to make sure you get those fist bumps. All right, well, let's go ahead, though. Oh, look at that. Good technique, good strategy. There you go. Love to see it. Wow, man.
Teamwork.
Hate to see it. All right, well, let's go ahead, though, and talk about the IGL of this KRÜ lineup. You got Klaus, who has stepped into this role yet again. And, you know, you can kind of see, like, from when that happened till now, there has been a marked improvement, as we've been talking about with KRÜ.
100%. And I'm just a big fan of how KRÜ call their larger macro in the game. I think the pivots they do around perks, around what information they get on an attacking side in particular, has been a big strength of theirs all year.
I mean, this is what I've been talking about. I feel like a lot of their mid-round plays, a lot of their rotates, every single piece to the puzzle seems to fit a lot of the time. Yes, they're winning, but there's still a lot to learn from any time that you win a game. You can always find those weaknesses you had and improvements to be made. We just saw in that clip that they were talking about, you know, working on improvements. I feel like KRÜ is definitely pushing past the ceiling that they thought they kind of had.
I think specifically what Klaus does really well is balancing a team that has a lot of players that want to lurk and go for plays. You have Keznit and Shy, who both are oftentimes going to be fighting at these extremities early and kind of walking up, taking space in the mid-round. But I think he really balances when he's calling back into that, when he's going for the fakes, and really playing around back and forth on the map. The mid-rounding, I think, is the biggest strength of KRÜ thus far in their run, and you have to credit Klaus for that.
Yeah, it's been a massive improvement for this KRÜ lineup, but like every single game here at VCT Americas is important, but this particular game is very, very important for both of our teams here, but for different reasons, right? Because for KRÜ, they're looking to lock in potentially a playoff spot. They wouldn't do it necessarily with this game, but it will get them that much closer, which will be massive for KRÜ. Meanwhile, on the other side, well, Loud's just looking to get a win.
Yeah, they absolutely need the win at the moment. But yeah, for KRÜ, because their schedule is ramping up, this is probably the most important in terms of like remaining games for them to win. You've got to beat the winless team here because 100 Thieves and Lev are both looking fantastic.
Yeah, they very much have a strength of schedule that has steadily ramped, and I think that's going to continue to get harder. I think Loud, pretty winnable game for KRÜ. I might even kind of lean into this upset being likely today. But then 100 Thieves is looking in great form. Lev is looking in great form. You need to win this game, or else you're maybe relying on 2 wins in those next 2 matches, which would be really tough in this competitive group.
Yeah, I mean, having those first few games being more like a warm-up and steadily leading you into these harder matches is a really, really good place for you to learn your mistakes and learn where you can improve as a team. I feel like I just talked about this, but KRÜ, they do such a good job at, even though if they won a whole lot, they've improved on a lot of the macros. Even with this new IGL system, they've managed to implement it and make it perfect. I think it's actually insane. When you change up any sort of IGL role, it can take a toll on your team. It can mess things up, but they've gone and ran away with it.
Yeah, and then we also looked at the KRÜ strength of schedule. Let's take a look, though, at the Loud strength of schedule, because they're also going to have a little bit of a ringer in front of them here. They're going to have to deal with KRÜ coming out of this, and then they got Sentinels, and then finally G2 here. So it's going to be a tough one for Loud regardless as well, Mimi.
They are an Omega, so making playoffs is a little bit easier for Loud, right? But they're 0-2 right now. They have 3 games left to play, and one of those teams is Sentinels.
And you have to have 2 wins to be able to qualify for a playoff. So the difference for Loud here is if they lose today, they must win the next 2 to even have a chance of qualifying.
And that's likely out of their hands, relying on tiebreakers and stuff. So they need to win today if this is a Loud that's making playoffs.
And this is one of our reps that was just in Madrid.
Yes.
Like, the world we are living in right now
by
is
the way.
insane. We have a situation where both Loud and Sentinels, the Madrid champions, there's a chance they don't end up competing for Americas internationally.
didn't even really factor that in for a second
and
there.
not just that, like, not making playoffs is possible for both of those teams.
Yeah, that is wild stuff. It just goes to show you how intense Super Week has been. That's right, baby. Explosions all around. But it's now time to go ahead and bring out our teams to the stage, settle the score. Let's see who comes out on top, KRÜ or Loud. Let's head to the stage.
Sigue la fiesta latina y cerramos la super semana junto a KRÜ Visa.
Let's do this!
E do outro lado, a esperança brasileira faz barulho pra Loud!
Massive matchup for both of these teams here. KRÜ just wants to continue to dominate their group. Meanwhile, for Loud, your America's champions, you got some world champions on that team looking for their first win here of the stage to keep themselves alive. This matchup's big.
It absolutely is. Brazil is still yet to win a match in stage 1, which is ridiculous. But if there was a team to be the salvation for that region, it would be Loud. They've only played 2 games thus far. They were both losses, but this is still a recoverable season. It has to start here.
And it has to be a recoverable Super Week to begin with. Just a few days ago, they played and lost, and they've got to come back in a big way. So, honestly, spoilers, we're going to be starting on Split here. But I'm excited to see what they've got in store for us.
Yeah, this team has so much more that they can improve on. We've seen their ceiling, their skill ceiling be so high. We've seen them have the firepower. Now I'm just willing to see if they can actually put it in the server.
And there is going to be your series layout, Split, Ascent, and Lotus if necessary. But something tells me in my gut we might be taking a trip to Lotus here. I don't know why, but I think we're going to get ourselves a close one.
Map 2 is a little worrying for Loud. QCK thus far has not been able to deliver on jet maps in particular. He has been getting diffed against most of the Tier 1 jet players that we have in this league. And when you talk about Tier 1 jets, Keznit is #1.
KRÜ are making big pivots here in Agent Select. The last time they played this map was 2 months ago, and they were playing no Raze, they were playing a jet comp with a KO, and now they're switching up and playing just about as meta as you can get here with the full control comp.
Yeah, this Raze is going to be so important. I feel like on Split, if you're not playing a Raze, you need to have some sort of proper OP attack strategy. But now when they have that Raze, there's actually a breach on Loud side too.
Yeah.
They're going to have to be careful of these trap plays, man. But I think just having a Raze is so much more important because they can take the space and use Util to deny so much more information.
But the thing for Loud is it's hard to set up trap plays around the breach without a Cypher.
This is it. Who's going to pick up the dub? Can KRÜ keep their record going, or will Loud finally pick up a win? Let's go ahead and send it over to your casters. We got 2 Valorant enjoyers. It's Uber and Wyatt.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy. Serial Valorant enjoyers here on the casting desk inside the Riot Games arena for a match with a heck of a lot at stake, especially for one of these teams, Wyatt. Loud maybe at a risk of missing their first international event ever.
I mean, stakes that Loud, they're not used to at all. This is new for them, being down 0-2 already in a stage like this in Americas. Last year, they were dominating, and last year it was KRÜ who couldn't pick up a win, and now they've got 3 of them, no losses, expectations totally reversed if you're just going by common thought from what we've seen before. I mean, my God, what a turnaround for KRÜ. I'm such a fan of this team right now. I love what they've been doing, how Klaus has revitalized them as that new IGL. Really fantastic work. Crucial, so crucial that Loud get the win here.
Interesting, we actually see saadhak instead of KRÜ picking up breach duties now. The ladder, of course, over to the sky instead. Maybe related to some of the role reassignments here for Loud. Les wants to try and advance up behind this poison orb here, but spotted by the camp instantly, perhaps with some of his cohorts there in B main.
The cam placed by Klaus, which is interesting, typically playing the Viper, and Shy would be the one on the Sentinel, but a small switch as Loud take the site with ease. Full retake now for KRÜ.
The nades, that hits hard. saadhak is able to get away, but only barely. No trips here on the B side, just the one in the middle of the map. So Klaus is going to have to get this done the old-fashioned way. QCK takes a swing. Klaus, though, opens up first. Newly dubbed caller for KRÜ. It's going to be Heat trying to work his way through rafters here. And KRÜ would love to try and start a pinch here with the players in B main, but this has to happen at the right time. It has to happen together. Shy forced away back around the corner, but KRÜ has to overextend to find the kill. He does so. Still 4 defenders on the site. KRÜ and Co have to act quickly, but saadhak has fallen as well. Les is going to bully his way through. KRÜ got close. But Klaus will come in with a defuse.
Fantastic play from him, just slips out early. So many kills on the retake. And crucially, that first one, the fight against QCK, a duelist that you're looking at to seriously step it up for Loud at this point in the stage. Yet to put up a positive performance on a map up until this point. And of course, massive shoes to fill in the form of Ospas. That has just been the narrative all of this year when we're talking about this squad. Fantastic start here, though, for KRÜ, despite KRÜ's best efforts. It was that one tripwire in mid from Klaus that alerted them to that. The Cypher making a difference already. We've seen it so strong in this current meta. It's what Sentinels use on this map to win Madrid.
Fast hit up ramps here for QCK. Melsa gets caught out there, stunned up by the fault line. And now we'll actually see Loud pull it back. Not even towards A main, no, like entirely. Cutting noise and cancelling on this hit. But where else do they get activated?
And Loud, of course, they have actually opted to force into this. Great entry from QCK. That standard double satchel up ramp with the Sky Flash to open the round. Just an easy way to get map control there to pressure and at best get a pick, which is what they've done. And in the meantime, it was just saadhak containing over towards B so they can work now into that site. Where Klaus has just left his setup to get the information, which he's about to have. Actually goes for a kill, a little bit risky, but once again, going to be able to get out. In similar situation to the pistol, we're going to be in a full retake situation here.
Cam still getting value, though. Big Brother presiding over the B site. Trips got cleared by the Trailblazer now, and Loud are in and amongst this site, but Keznit chooses this moment to emerge from defender spawn. 2 years nicely done. Shy picked up. Klaus needs to check new box here, and he does. Very, very low as the Cypher, but still a lot to do. Into the back of sight, allowed. They are grouped here. This could be a mass swing from KRÜ. It could be dangerous. It'll be a trade of 1-for-1, but saadhak has seen better days. Tunis has the off angle, though, and Loud converts.
Great setup from Loud there. I mean, you can't ask for much more, right? They have full site control, so of course they're going to plant for B main. Double stack in the back, player around pillar, player in B main. How are you ever going to crack that crossfire? Nigh impossible. Well done from them. And credit to QCK, we were just talking about him. They force into the round, bold move from Loud, and he opens things up, makes it all possible. And again, we are just looking at him to step up for this team, get Loud's first win of this stage, a win they need so desperately. KRÜ now on the eco.
Might be another fast hit towards ramp, or at least saadhak is gearing up for a fault line. There is no capitalization from Loud there, though. Very much just conditioning, as we saw in the previous round. More of a default look for Loud now, and they're not looking for any early fights.
KRÜ actually expended their paranoia there, thinking that there could have been a player up into that A ramp position. And because they didn't catch anyone out, look at that massive rotate towards B. Loud have just completely cut noise. They're going for the re-hit.
This macro is so good for Loud so far.
Working the map quite nicely.
All they did was cancel on A, and 4 players from KRÜ get dragged over to the B side. Now it's time to strike while the anvil is hot. And that's exactly what Loud will do. Into the side they go. The rotation's on the way here for KRÜ. Keznit is just about to get some action over there at screens, but already 3 players from Loud onto the side. And now they're well embedded, well anchored, with a player left over towards ramp, and another right in towards sewer.
Melzer gave them the smoke to try and work in, and Keznit takes advantage of it. Clean fight with saadhak to open things up.
Cowanzine probably unable to believe what just happened there. He had no opportunity to make the trade. 2 years has a great angle. He's able to TP up there and be a nuisance. Melzer eventually will get a snip and doesn't want to come down, but unreal from heaven. KRÜ able to find that key kill. The classic starting to sing, but QCK once more has risen to the challenge. Keznit's very, very low, and Melzer will still go for it. No reason not to. Getting that goal off QCK would be big for Keznit. There might be a chance here as they cross each other. 3 for Keznit and a rifle. Not too shabby.
We'll take that. I mean, I like as if Bro thinks he's on the team. But KRÜ will take that for sure. A lot of damage done there for against the Loud team. And with an opportunity to start getting their economy rolling, and that's going to get stopped in its tracks.
The reads here from Loud are impeccable, Wyatt.
I do like how they played that. I mean, it was just based on whatever player that was who was hanging around A, heard the paranoia that was sent out, the false info that was, you know, gained from KRÜ pushing forward there, and Loud take full advantage of it. It was really nicely done. Early dog here from Cowanzine, going to get broken by Melzer, and from that pressure is going to TP off, but a pretty key piece of utility nullified right away.
Have a bit of a pause in the action here as KRÜ do dedicate some resources to this A side of the map. Strictly on virtue of what they heard earlier. Klaus here in a position to peek towards B main. He's very little shy though, gets some attention up mid. That's a fault line. It's going to force him back over towards ropes, allowing Loud to set up here in the middle part of the map. This will draw some attention from the B heaven side.
Good reposition here from Melzer. You can see he's over in A main, and that's allowed KRÜ to stack up a little bit more aggressively towards heaven, with Shy as well playing back towards A. So they're going to be quite fast to retake here into B to be able to pressure this hit that's about to come in from the Loud side.
Heat there, heard it, everything he needed to. Okay, aftershock there to the back of the site. That's the cross with the satchel. Clouds flash briefly, but holds his line. Paranoia comes in, and that one's going to be harder to fight through. 2 years, though, crucially, takes the sky down. And now you've got to try and come back into this with no flashes. The snake bites at least. Les can set up with those in the post line, and once more, you've got the triangle set up with a player in B main. Shy steps up, sat down instantly. It's all up to Melzer, yet to find a kill, at least with a Paranoia.
Could be the key piece of utility, but again, look at these positions for Loud, just spread into a perfect crossfire here, even without the spike planted, or rather with the spike planted on default, not in B main for the perfect crossfire setup. I mean, even still, how can you crack this as a lone player, right? Melzer's just gonna opt to save, bring that Hero Vandal into the next round, see if he can make something happen then. Of course, a lot of talk about him and being the ex-IGL of the team was last year, and is now swapped over with Klaus for the sake of his own comfortability, for the ability to to pop off, have impact moments, be able to frag, focus on his own game. And we've seen him able to do that so far in this season. I mean, really, all the players on KRÜ have just been showing off so much of their individual prowess. And just how much that one simple move, swapping that IGL role back to Klaus, has really unlocked some of these guys.
Pretty strong fundamentals there for Loud, because those trades into B give them a favorable post plan.
And you can see right now saadhak on the map. It looks like he's ready for a stun going up into A heaven. And there's going to be a fast play up there.
Yep, they've been conditioning this fault line, Wyatt. Now they might look to actually play off of it. Also, though, goes deep into B main, gets a fair bit of information.
Actually taking things just a little bit slower right now.
You see the feet. Clouds pings them out now and even gets a tag with the cam. This is going to force QCK to head back down ramp. Cowanzine to follow.
Keznit dropping down, just actually given a hero rifle, but gets swatted down by less. Can that rifle even be recovered at this point? Yeah, cage thrown down by Klaus to get it back into their hands. The only real thing that could be the key into getting an upset round win here. And B main is being controlled by Meltzer, has been this entire round, just putting down a smoke there, which has allowed KRÜ to play elsewhere on the map, focus more heavily on A, which is where the real hit is gathering up. And Klaus, frankly, he has a chance to be the hero with that Vandal. Trip set up on the site. He could go crazy anchoring right now, one through the wall already.
Perfect off the timing of the Seekers. Cloud strikes, he's found a second here. Aftershock would have been a problem for him, but saadhak brings him down anyway. A rifle there to be potentially recovered by Shy. Beautiful explosion by Heat there from Rafters, and now it's up to less. With the spike so far away, the Seekers are going to confirm the position of the Viper here. The KRÜ have all their angles covered. Meltzer doesn't want to challenge this necessarily with just a Sheriff.
10 seconds
But another confirmation that Less is here. Swing the smoke. He's going to have a crack. KRÜ get themselves one back.
Really well done from Klaus. I mean, he was the man in position to make or break that round for KRÜ, and he steps up Loud, hitting into that Cypher setup. Him just able to swing back elbow. I mean, of course, listen, the first one you're just spraying through the Viper wall, we'll take that.
I mean, it's off the Seeker timing, right? That was nice. Good for two, and then this explosion. Oh, I love that.
A really nice flood there from KRÜ. In the 4v5 as well, Coach Adams happy about that. He's been doing a great job with his squad since last year. The success they had in LCQ up till now. Fast play in to be here from Loud. And Keznit shuts it down.
Perfect. Playing off Melzer there, hastily getting out of B main. Loud kind of knowing that KRÜ must have stuck him up pretty close to have peace of mind about remaining on A even after they cut noise in the prior round. That is a great exchange. Let's just try swinging that, so able to find at least one. Let's not forget Rolling Thunder available here for saadhak.
Shy just jiggling to spot things out. Gonna play this one safely. Just keep backing up, jump spotting. And nobody has it getting aggressive, but Satchel's going a little bit awry. At the very least, it's gotten them that space. They've been able to re-clear it, and now it's on Loud to have to re-clear that space again. Kawanzin does have the dog in this 3-on-4 now. But with only 40 seconds left and essentially no map control, this one is going to be extremely tough. If they do end up in A, they're going to run into that Cypher setup as well.
Heat, should he need it, has a Trailblazer to re-clear. There might be a play into heaven, and it may well spot out Kawanzin on the slow push. He's definitely feeling the pinch a little bit right now. That's a smoke towards screens as Kawanzin starts to encroach. There's the re-clear. Now they know the enemy Sky is playing close by. Flashes exchange. Kawanzin down to 58 here, and saadhak gets the spike down. Melzer so far away from the action, it's going to be a while before he gets involved.
But when he does, he has the paranoia online. Look at all that utility. He has smokes as well, 2 of them, and the trips aren't dealt with. This could get really awkward for the Loud guys remaining.
Still there on the site. 2 years waiting for contact here from screen. Sees it, but it's a little bit too late for the shot. saadhak here now. The Rolling Thunder into 1v2. Does he push ahead of this? There was a TP to get past the Rolling Thunder by Melzer. Still has the ability to do that again. Here they come, one after another. KRÜ double face and finds success.
Really well done from KRÜ on the retake. For some reason, I thought Klaus was alive. Those trips, irrelevant, but a good effort from saadhak. Nonetheless, well traded out from KRÜ.
Has struck fear into you when you still fear those trips after he's died.
I've watched too much John Cutie at all times on split. I'm way too worried about the Cypher on defense. Anchoring on A, I mean, it's just so strong. So nicely traded out there at the end.
What do you think about that Rolling Thunder there from saadhak?
Listen, it was a bold move, but he had the audio cue on both of them. He knew that they were coming screens. Listen, I'm not mad at it. saadhak is honestly, in terms of his individual play, has been really strong recently. Even on that silly Deadlock last week, he was going off. His aim has been crisp. The mechanics have looked good.
Okay, straight up mid here. A lot of mid presence for Loud. Shy into ropes here, back to safety for now. It's going to allow Kawanzin to embed, and he has the means to check this more than once. This is audacious. He hears plenty of footsteps there in heaven.
Might catch an amazing timing Look at the two players on KRÜ. They want to re-clear main. Oh my god.
He's gonna go down.
Just taps one down. Kawanzin makes noise. They're so aware. Forced back now. Still fighting in main is Klaus. A bit disconnected from the rest of the squad, and it gives Loud an opening to get into the site.
Oh my goodness, QCK! He has a sixth sense for it.
Spike planted.
KRÜ now left to pick up the pieces. Attempt this retake with only 2, and Keznit, as per usual, wants to waste no time in doing so. Didn't spot QCK from behind the barrier, but now knows he's there. From below is saadhak, dragging him down to the 7th circle. And Loud win that round out with 4 up.
Kawanzin taking a page out of the Brazilian brothers book from MIBR. A little bit of that lurking sky activity. 2 times in the back line there. A bit of that distraction though. Listen, he did pull the attention away there from, who was that? Heat and Shy, I want to say, that were up there in heaven. And then Klaus got in that awkward little disconnected fight where he was alone in main. saadhak got that crucial kill to get them the space, to get into the site. But again, QCK coming up huge right now. Wins them around outright with a fantastic rocket. Man that we're looking at to step up for Loud.
Once again, we have a non-committal set up here for Loud and the fault line for saadhak available. They are walking ramp. No one in heaven though. Look at this push down mid. This is so KRÜ. Go in an eco. Send everyone mid with pistols. saadhak is about to get more than he bargained for. And that's the spike!
Down A.
How can they play around it though at this point? Still quite scary with the bad weapons. Heat has the Vandal in his hands. KRÜ have had opportunities with these hero rifles and they've made them work before. Less nice kill onto Klaus.
Spike recovered.
Tui's used his ultimate to do so. Heads up play.
Less here, this time not dry wide swing on a ramp. It's more than happy just to play back on this a little bit. Paint shells affecting Tui's here, who has the spike. He does not want to get interrupted here. Keznit though brought down. The anchor presence for Loud on A is very strong. And his spike punch should be well protected with KRÜ trying to probe their way down ramp, and now they'll split.
Shy, a great player in these late round situations, has been such a fantastic addition to the KRÜ squad. This is where he thrives, but Les catches him out. And he just relegated to saving this Vandal.
Looked like there could have been something there, right? KRÜ able to find saadhak, but they don't know who else is in sewers. How do they know?
Tough to continue pushing down there, right? Because if they do, they're going to be facing a player. It's so likely, right, that they're set up when saadhak is there that it's a 1-1-3. There's going to be one guy B main, which was the case. And then if more people are coming back sewers, all of a sudden they're in a crossfire with bad weapons, bad situation. And frankly, I mean, just Tui's having his ultimate that round simplifies everything for the Loud guys. 5-3 lead now on split. A great start for them. And we said it before, but this is a must-win game for them, damn near.
And they're treating it like that. Classic little tech is there to recover the spike. Mel's aggression in B main is helping KRÜ make more informed decisions about whether or not to gamble on that A side. It's going to be a timeout for them now, presumably. Looking to try and work around some of those ultimates they build up, a chance to buy back into this round. Loud are doing a very good job. They're going for these early probes, cancel, cut noise, sometimes pump fake. It looks like KRÜ's having a tough time anticipating.
They've been working the map quite well. Impressed with Loud so far. I think that typically from what I've seen this season, I have been more favoring their attack side play than their defensive play. The calling is still just so good from saadhak, which we saw last week on Bind when they took that win. And so right now, perhaps getting as many as they can get, and we'll see if things switch up when it goes to the defensive side. But right now, it's Adam taking that time out. Again, a coach that I've been very impressed by. I think he's done a lot of great work with KRÜ since joining the squad last year. Of course, going on that LCQ run, and then into this year with these roster moves they've had. And a roster move they didn't even intend on having, Heat joining the squad, and look at how well he's been able to integrate him in here. I think you got to give that man a lot of credit. We'll see what they want to do here out of the timeout and around where they have 3 ultimates. You can already see Shy is in mid. Almost a certainty he's just going to drop that Viper's Pit to control that space. They've left Klaus over on the B side with the setup, and the rest of the team focus a bit more towards that.
Could be just a fake here on ramp with a fault line. The saadhak doesn't have the spike. left that behind a little bit. Melser again always wants to fight for more of that early info. Hit by the fault line and the flash confirmed, but no mechanism for follow-up there for Loud.
And Shy not even really feeling too pressured to have to use that pit in mid. Just has the poison orb up with a trip to play off of, and Klaus getting that info B main, which he is about to get. This trip is going to have to be broken. Cam as well there. We'll see if he tries to anchor, gets one. Wow, great. Pops that ult as well. Just needs to slip away at this point. They're going to refight.
Of course, it's KRÜ. Works out well. Trying to bring QCK down. Cohen's in a little bit late into heaven. Just the one. The spike, though, not committed in the hands of saadhak here. And this means that Les has to try and find a way in here on the A side of the map.
Just trying to work off of that wall right now as saadhak slowly heads over to the A side. Some decent space, but of course doesn't know about the player on the ramp.
What's he looking for?
Just hoping to see if maybe there's someone he can find backside, find a pick deep here. Might end up in a fight with Keznit, but
oh, that timing.
It's all a game of timings right now. Keznit spots them out.
What? 1 HP, and he may have scuppered the plans for Loud. saadhak at least able to respond. And there's plenty more where that came from. KRÜ get themselves a key one here in round 9.
So nicely dealt with. They didn't even have to use that pit in mid, so they've still got an option to use that later. Shy just never really felt any pressure. And again, it's just on Clouds. This guy this season just revitalized his career entirely. IGLing and somehow fragging significantly better on the roll than he did last year. Incredible stuff from him.
And we're better to demonstrate this against a team who notoriously hates to play Sentinels in their comps. Loud does not bring that in.
They love the double flashes. saadhak has said it many times. He doesn't think Sentinels are that important. He would rather have flashes to dump into the enemy team. And he does have those in the form of 4 with the breach in the sky. Good for the big executes for sure. And they're gathered up for one on A.
First the Trailblazer here, scouts outside, gets caught in a trip briefly. Klaus down to the paint shells though. He's looking to face up, but a turn away from the flash, but saadhak gets it with a second one. Loud dumping that util just as we discussed into the site now. Shy might try and challenge this. No, the aftershock forces him off that rafter angle, and saadhak is still able to find him. Melser with it all to do, headed towards screens.
saadhak as well. Fallen is still available, is gonna send that out. Doesn't catch Melser, but really good positioning right now from Loud. It's going to be so tough for him to get anything done here, and he's just going to opt to save this. A good move if you look at the economy as well late into the game. They're going to be able to have a good buy on this following round. Loud just, as we were saying, they take advantage of the comp that they're running here, able to pull off these massive executes. That's what the Breach excels at. It doesn't flow well at all times throughout the game, but when you have a big set piece like that, dealing with him is incredibly difficult.
It feels like saadhak sees 2 players come for him there in mid, communicates that to Loud saying, hey, I think A is much more lightly held right now. You can probably just contact in there. And so they did. So much of this game swirls around saadhak there as the eye of the storm.
QCK again. I believe he does count as the first kill, I believe, when he got that nade in there deep, if I remember correctly. We'll see. Oh, well,
Klaus got it first.
All good. they traded out even. That counts as the first kill and a first death for both. It won't show that on the stat sheet, but we know that in our hearts. QCK has really been doing a better job this game than in some we've seen from him recently. Impressive stuff so far.
And saadhak unburdened by making those more coach-esque decisions now. Able to continue to take strides mechanically. Melser fault line. Can always TP away from that if required, and Keznit was there.
Typically on these rounds, Melser has been controlling B main with ease for most of them. And Loud have just dealt with that with a fault line. Pushed up 2Es to get that space, keep his eyes on it. And then of course in the meantime here, it's Les and Kalanzine just working towards the A side. Trying to see if any KRÜ players are going to go for a peek, posted up on the angles.
If anyone would, it's KRÜ.
And now just waiting for the rest of the team to rotate back on this anti-eco round. And there it is, Heat finally. Just too tempted, just had to find out what was going on ramp and gets punished.
Playing right into Loud's hands. Here they head towards the side though. KRÜ stunned up though. And will eventually make the way over to A with 3 of those KRÜ players grouped up towards screens, but saadhak is wise to it. Maybe even that was through smoke. That raft smoke dissipates, but no one from KRÜ is taken up residence inside heaven. Slowly, Melsa looks to try and re-clear it and have a vantage point with that Sheriff. But Loud are so embedded here. They're virtually in the walls. Melsa at least is able to dodge away from that flashpoint. Keznit steps up to meet his maker.
Double swing with saadhak and 2E's, who's playing over on the ramp side. Just making things look easy. saadhak is just fragging out in this game as well. This guy is really stepping it up individually. It's pretty mental to watch. I mean, look at him go, 12 and 8, top fragging the server right now. What can he do, Mitch? What can he do?
The early hit here as well, it looked as if they were hit by a Trailblazer or something similar. I think QCK stunned as they got into the side, but they were still able to keep walking up.
Nicely dealt with, and now a final opportunity for KRÜ to get the round and Loud.
Okay, what is this?
Wealth, absolute wealth on their part. They have 3 ops posted up right now on attack for any KRÜ players that might get antsy. Go for a little contact push, a little peek, just, it can't hurt. What if I just, jump spot and try to get a little bit of info, and then, oh, there's 3 ops on attack right now, ready to drop, pick up a rifle.
But they are asking KRÜ to contact
they are tempting fate right now. I mean, of course, they have no idea this is ridiculous, but some opportunities for Loud to get a cheese kill to open this up.
2 years is off the silly sauce. I think all of them have left Vandals in easily accessible locations. So Loud making a switch up here. And there's 1 minute timing. Sending QCK and Cullen up mid.
And at this point, they've made quite a bit of noise across the map. There are op shots on both sides. You can see how spread the KRÜ defense is right now. Shy pops the pitch to try and slow this down.
Ooh, he avoids a rolling thunder. QCK looks to spam through. Shy wants to inch forward. The paint shell's though going to make him think twice about that. He will inhabit that pit for the time being, and this is forced Loud over in the A direction, but the Seekers from KRÜ see all of this.
30 seconds.
Klaus anchored on the side, hit by a flash. Cybercase to give him a little bit of room to breathe, and he wins out the battle. That's a big one, but there's more to be done. Long-range showstopper there, sidestep by saadhak, but he's low. 2 years getting involved, but it's up to QCK now.
Great swings.
He's had a great game, but this might be too much to ask for. KRÜ get themselves another one before the half. And that's a sigh of relief here. Loud piling on the pressure wire.
Great big swing from KRÜ there at the end. The triple face into screens. And listen, this one is close. Both teams right now, they're showing out. I think both teams are looking quite strong. Could go either way.
Absolutely here, Loud with 7. Let's see how this plays out in that final round here. Rough one for Loud.
Just forced into this rotate. I mean, they had to play into KRÜ's hands because of that pit that came down from Shy. And you could see the instant rotate from KRÜ. They were so fast to meet them on the A site. They just herded them over there. Perfect response.
Definitely a must-win game for Loud so far, and they're playing like it. We're going to take a moment now to head over to our desk to break down the action from Split so far.
Thanks very much, Mitch. 5 salvaged at the end there for KRÜ, but overall, a bit of a struggle on that defensive side for Klaus and the boys.
Yeah, it absolutely was. They got that win right at the end, but even from round 2, Loud forcing up and beating out to get the momentum back in their favor, it did start to slip away from KRÜ.
Yeah, it just looked so rough for me because I felt like there were so many opportunities where they could use their Sky to get good enough re-clear information. You knew Loud was using their fault line towards that B main almost every single round, and instead of re-clearing, regaining that info, it felt like KRÜ just fell off, played a little bit more passive, put a lot of trust into their team to just hold down the side, and the Sky was just playing A every round, not getting any.
It was a little weird seeing some of those Sky re-clears going on the A site when the Cypher utility was also set up there. And it's not always super problematic to play Sky on the same side as the Cypher, but to, like what you were saying, it's very important to get a forward line posted, usually by your duelist player, on the other side of the map so you do have balanced information.
Absolutely, and for the other side on Loud, It's a little bit of a continuation of the last game where Saadhak is taking over, winning a lot of these rounds out of the scrappiness. But let's look ahead towards that second half. What are you looking for on KRÜ's attack, Mirna?
I mean, I would love to see a little bit more util. I feel like all these fights so far have just been kind of walking up contact plays. I would love to see more mid-rounding information and setting up to bait that breach trap play.
And usually how they get that mid-round info is by inserting Keznit very far up into mid, into mail or vents. That's what I'm looking at.
Loud's going to have to deal with it, but they already have 7 rounds and a chance to close this out as we head back to the game with Mitch and Wyatt.
And we're on the same page, I think, as our desk here. So much of this depends on that breach utility. Saadhak always seems to be at the locus of the action, and he's able to call a lot of this information over to the rest of his team, especially about the weaker sites on the extremities.
And on the defense side as well, Breach here just notorious for so many trap play setups. Though usually you would see that kind of thing off the site for the agent that Saadhak despises, but even still, that is going to be a main point of this Loud defense. I mean, almost just some random spam to open things up here. Paranoia Separatus could get big value if this mid-push comes to fruition from KRÜ.
Probing here, but no commitment yet from KRÜ. Poison Orb thrown up, and 2 years... Let's throw a smoke down. He was preparing a Paranoia, I think, for that push. Gearing up for some of this breach utility.
Loud have read this. I mean, look at the stack. They've got 4 players onto the site already. This is going to be so tough for KRÜ.
Look how far forward Kalanzini is. That's why. 2 years again.
Stealing sight.
Paranoia this time. How does he look to play off of it? Cybercade thrown up to give KRÜ a little bit of protection. He'll take a smattering of damage, but an aftershock from Saadhak claims heat. Devastating. Less a little bit low. Klaus is actually able to step up and get a cam here into heaven. This means that KRÜ can now flood in and play from this high ground position. Paint shells now thrown down, but 2 years is undetected in this low spot. He's able to find Keznit at the very least, but it's a one and done. Saadhak at 6 HP from the side eventually is accosted by Shy, but Les gets involved from heaven once more. Melsa will likely have to play from elbow here. Now Trailblazer is going to look to seek him out. Paranoia gets eaten. Here's a flash over the top, dangerous for Melsa. Can't find the shot. And this is what Loud are looking for. What a way to start this defense.
And you pointed it out, Kalanzini just pushing all the way up into like B main, right up to the tripwire there. A crucial piece in allowing Loud to just overstack towards the A site. With that mid push not coming in, it was just all too readable, Mitch. They were perfectly set up for that. And then how can you get in? I mean, this is, first of all, that's unfortunate. But even past that, right? I mean, the crossfire setups from Loud, how can you deal with that? And a perfectly played 2v1 just swinging together, closing things out, not giving Melser a chance. And that's 2 pistol round wins now for Loud in this game. KRÜ with a lot of work to do to make up for that deficit.
Can't ask for more than that in a scrappy matchup that we've seen transpire here on Split. It's a fault line, but no follow. Again, the conditioning begins here for Loud.
And a pretty typical open that you're going to see here when they have that Cypher right, just watching towards A. Players probing, trying to take other areas of the map while the Cypher tries to find an opening. But on a round where you've only got pistols, I mean, nothing is really going to come to fruition here for the Loud side.
Won't come easy at the very least, will it?
No, certainly not.
Klaus those on the tools. He's putting the work in. Kalanzini was pushing up on those rafters, gets punished. Less broods within the smoke and chooses his time to swing. That was a crossfire on him. 2's extremely low. He's going to hear some of this though. This for Loud has gone awfully awry. Lots of noise being made by Shy. Okay. A little nasty on the ropes, I see.
I mean, you've got to be joking. The second I'm talking about, the pistols there, they lost one. I mean, how the hell do they pick up those 2 kills in mid? That just should never be happening. But when we're looking at KRÜ, we're looking at the individual skill, the form that these guys have been in the past 3 weeks. It feels like at any point, anyone on this team can hit a crucial shot. Melser seals the deal onto Saadhak. What an eco round. That pistol win, be gone, irrelevant.
What a way to subvert our expectations here. Let's see how that went down. You're going to talk me through it, Wyatt.
Oh my God. I mean, what a shot from Klaus. Oh, let's just, I mean, this awkward double swing. Again, what a shot. I mean, these guys have just been so cracked these past few weeks. All of them just feel revitalized individually. Guys that when we were looking at KRÜ in the past, it was Keznit and friends. And now the friends they're really good. They're right there with him.
Well, Les just wanted to swing that smoke. Didn't respect the mid presence. Some early action here. 2 years able to get out, but only just. Keznit could have pursued, but doesn't know about that heaven presence. But now 2 years, he knows his number is up. Keznit starts to take advantage. Smoke in heaven will cut less than QCK1 out of the action. It's a fault line from afar for saadhak, but nobody remotely bothered by it. Paranoia actually hits Keznit there, but as 2 years tries to cross the safety shy, brings him down. Here's some attention from heaven now, and it's a shooting range. Just saadhak. And he doesn't have much to do here at all. Get some damage done. Oh my goodness, Loud got folded.
It's small things, Mitch, but I appreciate that in the midst of that execute. Was there an opportunity probably for Keznit to just push up, wrap, fight 2Es and kill him? Yeah, but
Satchel in. Yeah.
they just slow it down and nade him. This team is just playing a very fundamentally sound game, which is just in juxtaposition to the KRÜ that we remember of last year, where at times you're watching Keznit and you're watching a guy who feels like he has to go nuclear all the time.
Feels like he has to win the game for his team in the past, right? Now he says he's the Keznit that plays for his team. Operator here in the hands of QCK. That one, though, is down mid. 2 years will be staved off by that poison orb.
And falling off B main now are KRÜ as Keznit and Klaus just trying to work up, get some space off of that Viper wall. Facing now into the site as the rest of the team gather up with them. Flash is going to get some info from Cow and Zine, but not enough to convince the rest of the Loud players to rotate just yet.
They don't have big main control Loud. But eventually they are going to start sending less to reinforce this A side. Anchor players will be Cow and Zine and saadhak as per usual.
That off and mid from QCK is offering some pretty decent info though, and it has allowed Les to pick up this angle. While actually rotating potentially up into mid now. QCK is in fear.
They don't go in the direction of the operator in the end. Another fault line towards heaven here as KRÜ trend back towards the A side. Paranoia dodged by Cow and Z, not even close. Flash gives no information, but here comes that swing from main. Cow and Z wants to hold the line, but tries a little better. Oh my, the anchors!
30 seconds left.
Absolutely torn from the side, and the Viper's hit. In towards elbow and screens. Limited options now for Loud. I don't think Les even bothers.
What a fantastically called round from Klaus. The IGL, just as he said, that pump fake, just suddenly that pressure onto QCK. You know he's getting worried. He's saying over comms that they're coming up vent right now. He has to fall off, and you can see less on the minimap. He was watching heaven from the spawn side. He starts to fall off a little bit. Things are just getting so messy, and KRÜ take full advantage of it. Then they burst into the A site, just swarming the two anchors. I mean, what can they do when they're getting pushed down from elbow, from main, heaven? What a great round from KRÜ.
Elaborate too. The mid-rounding was pretty elegant.
Absolutely. I just love what I'm seeing from Klaus this stage.
Just walk up here. Oh, the pressure on saadhak. He
just doesn't know where to look. He has to just watch everything at once. He's only got 2 eyes. He doesn't have a third in the back of his head.
Yeah, 2 eyes, 3 A's, but not a hope in that round. Timeout here called by Loud because they've maintained that operator from QCK. They can still play around that. But the looks of things here to be saadhak, who really doesn't have a whole lot economically to contribute. The KRÜ have evened up this game. They've lost both pistols here on split. Despite that, they have made it more than competitive.
At the top of the board right now for them, Heat. Just a guy who didn't even think he'd have a place in the league this season. A guy that was at the top of the Brazilian scene at a time, a guy that you were looking at on the international stage like he is the best player in Brazil, and then didn't even think this season that he would have a team. And of course, I'm referring to many years ago, but what a turnaround now. Picking up a new role, has just looked fantastic.
And MTA also continue to be developed as a sixth man for this roster. Obviously coming up from that academy scene in Latin America.
And crucially, saadhak now, as you mentioned with the economy, he's opted to just get a light armor and a stinger, going to forego better weaponry to get that utility to try and set his team up. A lot of eyes on the operator here, which is actually now, hold on, that's being swapped over to Les. He's got that to watch the line on A. While the rest of the team, it looks like they're set up for a big play in B main with saadhak fault line in hand, ready to fight here.
Okay, it's actually a defensive smoke, not even a one-way, and yet Loud want to try and push through this. That made enough noise to wake the dead. Keznit, does he have the right angle? He's trying to play an off angle here in advance, but still through the smoke. Here comes Loud. Keznit's got nowhere to go, but still does the dead. That is absurd! How does he navigate that situation?
I thought Loud were screwed when they were jumping out of the smoke. I couldn't believe they get two. How does that? I mean, full blind brings it back to the 2v2.
Not just that. I can't believe that. They're in a favored position now. How about a contact here towards A with no threat? Not that I know that. But look at this, straight away, Keznit gets there. That spike is going down. Shy able to play here from ramp, and Louder a long way from the action.
At the very least, saadhak is able to recover a rifle from that slew of corpses outside of B. And a ton of utility up. His fault line just recharged. He didn't end up using an aftershock or either of the flashes early in the round. So critical on this retake will be that utility, but will he even have a chance to use it?
Shy, the timing didn't favor him. saadhak wins it out. Keznit, a little battered here, a little damaged. Paint shells to his name. He's probably going to deal with a high-low setup here from Loud, but he sees Let's first. He swings it. Now the 1 versus 1 for Keznit. Fault line comes in, he stands his ground. He will go down with this ship. Crosses down to 15, and he's done it! saadhak comes up with nothing. And KRÜ, what an unlikely way to turn the round for a Red Bull clutch.
I'm just stunned. I can't believe they won that round. I can't believe they won it after the initial action. I can't believe Keznit wins that in the end. I mean, Loud looking a little bit silly there. I mean, you could see Les was jumping down. He was looking like Boostio, and he did have a mouse just jumping around trying to fade out the peak. Hey, this Boostio won the round. And saadhak just still in heaven, just wasn't in the right place to trade off of it, just getting a little bit disconnected. Wasn't sure maybe if he wanted to use utility.
Cover going out.
Oh my god, I can't believe that. KRÜ fast into B main now, taking control.
Is that Rolling Thunder? Limited chance to play off of it though, as a snakebite will cover the retreat here for KRÜ. And they'll add some more util on top just to make sure their pursuers are kept at bay.
Really did a nice job baiting out that Rolling Thunder. I mean, of course they've lost B main control, but look at how much has been expended here. The nade as well now from QCK. At least he is one away from his ultimate, that showstopper getting online.
The second Rolling Thunder from saadhak that isn't really used in like a full team situation and execute one.
And that dog got so much information just then for Heat. Klaus taking advantage of it, posts up all the way into vent. Loud right now. I do like how they're responding to this, playing close to B main. If they can just hold that, they can give up the site, but control that crucial area of the map here.
Zeke is pretty illuminating. Loud want to post up here. Shy has been left in reserve. Will he wait on the corner to his attention now elsewhere? This is when Shy can pounce. He's trying to keep them interested. And the catnip works out perfectly. Now, from spawn, Loud have to try and find a way out. Fault line to hopefully pave the way. I mean, there's a lot of bells and whistles here. Loud need to manifest an advantage. And they can't, they know it.
Just no desire to go for that. I mean, you could see the whole time Cowanzine, he was just...
Oh, it's chalked.
He was just sat in vents. And look at the state of the economy. KRÜ have no problem hunting for this. The wealth disparity is out of control right now on Split. No reason not to hunt for these. KRÜ 10-8 lead now, and it just comes down to that play in B main. I have no problem with how Loud responded to that loss of mid control. They have to take B main and fight there, but they just lose the fights. The KRÜ players are so skilled, so in that flow state when it comes to the duels. If one of those just goes the other way, totally different round, but they win them both. And that little bait from Heat is so nice.
At that point, they've got no interest in checking behind them towards Ramen, where Shy was waiting. KRÜ orchestrate that perfectly. And they're very good at eking out these small advantages that then get snowballed into the later part of the round. And it's not always easy, right, to be grouped up in mid as 5 and sort of create a scenario where you can split. But they left Shy behind, take that heaven control move to the side. And at the start of the round, we see that Rolling Thunder come out from saadhak, but there's no way to capitalize on it. It's an audacious plan. It's again Loud trying to apply some form of pressure to B main. At least it's not swinging smokes and losing 2 versus 3. It didn't work either.
An important time for a timeout, frankly, called by Peya, the new Loud coach who joined up with the team this year. I think this was the right time for it. They needed to kind of slow things down, figure out what they want to do from here on out after a frustrating round to lose, frankly.
I mean, they've lost 5 in a row.
Heads. I mean, yeah, that is tough. I didn't even realize they're kind of just coming so fast, to be honest.
I mean, if I was Peya SDK, my headline would be even further back, and that's hard to do. That's a long walk.
And now KRÜ, again, just leaving Klaus over towards A main, gonna control that with the cam, play around the Viper wall, set up in the 1-3-1 here. Standard open to the round, gonna dog through this poison cloud. Fake TP as well, or not even fake, sorry, just CPing high, yeah, to try and get that angle over into vent.
Could leave Melsa here for a time. And Boombot headed into Mail and was promptly disassembled. KRÜ, what is there to see? A trip, that's it. Doesn't know anything that's happening down in sewer, but still has a sixth sense about it.
This is a lot of false info from KRÜ. Expecting at this point maybe to just see the Cypher, and only sees the Cypher again. But Les is gonna rotate. Oh, saadhak, what a peek. Great kill.
saadhak saw the Cypher too, but he completed the kill. Oh my, keznitdeus! Unleashed once more! Les now gonna try and make his way out here. A Viper's been thrown down to give them that later access to elbow and some of the sight. That's not enough to dissuade Keznit. He still wants to plant. They're going for A.
Crucially though, Meltzer does have the paranoia right now. That could be a round-winning piece of utility here for KRÜ.
Showstopper for QCK. Now where does this go? Keznit is close by, but he's tucked on the right-hand side. QCK has to know about this. Keznit, no way! He gets away with it. Paint shells, he holds his ground. A bit of damage, but no kill. 5 HP left on QCK. And Shy is waiting for him. Beautiful! Oh my God. Crushed under the weight of this KRÜ post-plant. And that's 11 rounds on the docket.
What a transfer. Oh my God. I mean, Shy is a late round player. I love this pickup from in the offseason for KRÜ, bringing him in from Lev. I think a criminally underrated player. I mean, late last year with Lev, when that team was, you know, struggling, clawing for wins, he was the guy bringing them over the finish line in a lot of games, and I thought that was a great upgrade here for KRÜ. And now surrounded by so much other talent, this team just looks electric.
Blinded.
Taking a win here on Split would be huge and potentially devastating for Loud. They would be out of contention for their first international event. KRÜ would not be guaranteed to qualify for our playoffs, but they'd be pretty darn close. Fault line here. A little off center for saadhak. He might be a bit exposed and is quickly able to get back to safety.
Decent amount of util used already from the Loud side. Trying to go for a little trap play, potentially in B main, find a pick there. At the very least, they're going to retain some control off the one-way for now.
I don't think KRÜ want to let them have B main indefinitely, but that one-way is about to be refreshed. So mid it is.
Contacting up slowly now. But with that cloud going down, they feel pressured to use their info gathering utility.
They know QCK's on rafters at the very least. They are looking to challenges, but the fault line came in from saadhak as he is in spawn. Shy eventually wins out. That's that B main control now established. You can now split onto B.
30 seconds left.
Shy will be slow about it, but he'll get there. QCK holds his ground on the site, but he finds him from upper. Melsa here can catch saadhak. There's more concern about the rope's rotation. Cam removed. saadhak gives away his position. For Melsa, it's all too easy. And KRÜ realizes he needs to get out of dodge. Loud have one more chance to keep this map alive.
Shy is just absolutely cooking in B main. He just can't be stopped. It's another round where he essentially just gets the pivotal impact kill that gives KRÜ the round win. But I love the calling right now from Klaus. He's working across the map, getting up into mid, and then they felt a little bit of pressure, and boom, did you see the reaction time on just getting the dog, the boom bot out, pressuring into vent and into heaven at the same time. I mean, you can't ask for any more from Shot, man.
It's elementary from that point, right? The trades are good. The defenders have no heaven control. saadhak's late to the party. There you have it. Map point coming up here for KRÜ.
I just, in no point watching KRÜ, I feel like I've seen quality attack side rounds like this. At no point in their history. At no point have they been this consistent. 3 weeks of wins in a row, about to take another map right now. They've had those flash in the pan moments like at LCQ, at some of the international events, they'll get a big upset win here and there. But this high level of consistency is new to them. On match point now, gathered up outside of A. They haven't really gone for a lot of big hits. This might be the first time they do it.
Everybody from KRÜ group there. saadhak takes a licking early.
Toxins going up.
Shy here set up to deny Rafters.
Toxin screen down.
And there it is. Snakebite, even some trips being thrown down here at the top of ramps. KRÜ might just want to push their way through A main, but this aftershock is going to be forcing them to wait. More info in towards heaven. KRÜ now making their intentions pretty clear. Paranoia also to catch Rafters. Klaus keeping an eye on ropes now. Tentatively, KRÜ start to take control of this part of the map.
This mid-round for KRÜ now is pivotal. They've expended a lot of utility. They know that they've drawn rotates at this point. They've made so much noise. Shadows traveling. What is the response going to be? They're slowing things down.
They finally crossed that heaven opening. saadhak wasn't watching the line. Too much pressure for him. Kawanzin is low. Look at how bad the anchors are for Loud. They're barely alive, but they hold their ground for now. QCK chooses his time to come out from ropes. Butter blows up in his face. 2 years. Makes sound and is forced back. Kawanzin was always going to be lit there. And 2 years is on the outside looking in. Spike isn't even planted yet, and he has to do something truly extraordinary to keep this map alive.
Spike planted.
But look at this setup. How can he crack this, man?
Trip behind him. He can't even go down. Revs and KRÜ. A dominant opener to this series. After that halftime, they lost both pistols, Wyatt.
I mean, it's one of those games where when you look at the score, it tells you a little bit of a story. I mean, 13-8, that is pretty convincing, sure. But when you watch and you take into account the pistols, I mean, that was on the gun rounds. Domination from KRÜ. Masterfully, called attack half from Klaus, who's picked up the IGLing for the squad this year. The way that they were working the map, slowing down at pivotal times, re-pushing into other areas, re-clearing mid at crucial times, threatening, are they hitting A, are they hitting B through mid, which side are they splitting, how Shy was playing around main, I mean, masterclass attack side here from KRÜ.
It's that second half anti-eco for Loud that's going to stick in my head there. Things really started to go south after that. We're going to step away for a moment, and GB and the Atlas Death will break down map 1.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.